Okay. I'll call the meeting to order of the Upper Big Blue Natural Resource District. Open Meeting Act, the public notice has been published in the York News Time on May 9th of 2024. The Open Meeting Act is posted in the back of the room by the door. Their reminder, all cell phones should be silenced during the meeting. Please be aware this meeting is being recorded. When speaking, the desktop microphone button must be depressed. This ensures that your comments are recorded in their entire content. The recording becomes part of the public record along with written board minutes in accordance with state statute. Roll call.
Bethune.
Here.
Anthony Bohaty.
Here.
Jeff Bohaty. Richard Bohaty.
Here.
Dickinson.
Here.
Grotz.
Here.
Houdersheldt.
Here.
Kuehner. Miller.
Here.
Nuss. Adi. Perry.
Here.
Peterson.
Here.
Siebert.
Here.
Stahly. Here. Weiss.
Here.
Yates.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration of director's request for excused absence. I have two, one for Teresa and one for Jeff Bohaty. If you want to act on them separate or together, go accordingly. Teresa's at the Water Leadership Academy. I think she had a meeting today. Jeff, I don't know. I think he's probably in the field.
Yes,
Okay.
I know that's what he's.
Okay.
I offered to pick him up by Melbourne.
Motion to accept both
So, we
absences.
have a second.
Second.
Rodney. Okay, roll call.
Anthony.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz.
Yes.
Houdersheldt.
Yes.
Kuehner.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Stahly. Yes. Weiss.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Yates.
No.
Motion carried.
Okay, public comments. Anyone may comment on any matter that is not on this agenda. However, no board action can be taken until the following board meeting according to Nebraska Open Meeting Act, unless the board declares it an emergency. Please hold comments on any listed items until it is considered. Is there anyone at this time that wants to say anything? And I'll give you each person a couple of minutes. Okay. Go up to the table. Introduce yourself, make sure your name's wrote there on the clipboard.
I wrote down there.
Yeah, yeah. But are you Dennis?
I'm Dennis.
Okay. Yeah, push that until the light stays green.
Green's on.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. My name is Dennis Elge. I live at 1108 West 18th Road, Aurora, Nebraska, 402-854-2557. I own a farm that is just 1 mile east of the proposed Synergen site and is within the 3-mile radius that is cited in the Synergen well permit hydrologic evaluation report. On March 19th, 2024, at the public meeting of the Hamilton County Zoning and Planning Committee, there was a comment that the permit was based on the 1940 to 2018 study. Why was the 2019 through 2023 water usage not included? That information has been gathered and recorded. May 7th, 2024, in a board meeting, Steve Young commented about the peer review. He mentioned an orange flag to proceed with caution. The NRD board also reported a 3.08 foot decline in water levels from the spring of 2023 to the spring of 2024. That is just 3.6 feet or 42 inches above allocation triggers. On May 9th, 2024, I received from the NRD office information regarding well pooling and allocation summary, along with my historic water use data from 2013 to 2023. It seems ironic that 2 days after the board meeting reviewing large water usage, that this information regarding well pooling and allocation summary was sent out. I looked at the Synergen well permit hydrological elevation report, evaluation report, page 39 Item 4, model investigation summary and conclusion states water level reductions within the immediate vicinity of the proposed well were in the range of 10 to 14.5 feet, while water level reductions at the edge of the 3-mile radius were on the order of 1 to 3 feet. My farm is 1 mile east of the proposed Synergen site. Right now, 2024 current trigger level is 3.6 feet above allocation. When Synergen starts pumping, it will pull my water level down below the trigger level. Does this put me into mandatory allocation? What is my recourse when my well starts pumping air? Can I seek damages from Synergen for the cost of lowering my well or even drilling a new well? What about crop damages from reduced water availability? How do I maintain my livelihood now as well as for my son as he starts farming? I encourage you as a board to protect our natural resources and to take a step back to review and reconsider Synergen's permit. Mr. Chairman, I submit my comments to be recorded in Upper Big Blue Entity Minutes and Public Record. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
I would. My name is Terry Elge,
Okay,
and the green light's still on as a
yep,
separate party.
yep, you're
Okay.
good then.
I'm younger brother to Dennis. So I do have a farm within 3 miles. It does affect me. So I wrote some notes. I was at the meeting on the 7th. So I've got some notes, some questions here. On the May 7th meeting, Steve Young of Brown and Caldwell did offer an orange flag warning. He's in charge of the pre-review, which you asked him to review all this information, and you've hired him professionally. He wants us to be cautious about this. The second thing is that you voted to approve Synergen's permit, from what I understand, without a second. There was a motion and then it went on to vote. Why was this so rushed? Was somebody putting pressure on you to rush and get this formation to get this accepted? The 2023 water level reports were not even available yet. We're 3.6 feet from allocation. Your lawyer on that 7th said that domestic wells are the first priority to be protected. Irrigation wells are number 2. Industrial well is number 3. Why is not the same allocation subject to an industrial? With the permit from Synergen, they can prove whatever they pumped for the last 3 years, and they can get 100% before they're under allocation. Why isn't it the same as an irrigator? I feel that you have voted prematurely before you had all the information needed. Now you have more relevant information. The Synergen rep was so arrogant when I talked to him at the first meeting at the Bramer Center. I said, what happens if our water level draws down? What if we have levels where we have to reset our wells? He goes, well, I guess we're just gonna have to litigate. That's my comment. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there someone else? I know if you want to stay there, maybe we could bring a mic to you, but that's okay. Unless you want. Oh, one or the other, whatever works better. But she needs a table, we can get her one.
Yeah. Microphone.
I don't know. Is it on?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
My name is Iris Bergen and I live on the Hamilton-Clay County line in Hamilton County. I was at the water meeting on the 7th. And I just have 2 comments to make, and then I have a question. Since at least some on your board feel that they would have voted differently concerning the Synergen application had they had more time to study it, could you either as a board or individually contact the Hamilton County Commissioners as to that fact? The commissioners will meet on Monday, May 20 to set the date of the Synergen hearing. And the second, In the light of the fact that many on this board have full-time jobs, may I suggest that you establish guidelines as to the amount of time that large water applications must be received by the board members before considering. Perhaps there should be at least a 2-week time frame, thus allowing time for study. And my question. Since turning CO2 into a liquid state to put it in a pipeline requires large amounts of water, have you been contacted as to the agreement between the ethanol plant in Aurora and Tallgrass concerning the pipeline for sequestering CO2? If you have, what are they suggesting their water needs will be? As a background to this question, in February of 2020, a CO2 pipeline burst near Satarsha, Mississippi, releasing 21,873 barrels or 689,000 gallons of liquid CO2 in the 8 minutes before 3 mainline valves were closed. To give some perspective, an Olympic-sized swimming pool is 164 feet by 82 by 6 and holds 660,430 gallons. So in 8 minutes, that pipeline lost the amount of water that would more than have filled an Olympic swimming pool. And I have copies for each one of you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that wants to speak at this time? Oh, okay.
I want to refer everybody to this colored map that was handed out at the other meeting. And on the legend down here on this side here in the white, which is to the west of Aurora, it says it's a 3 to 4 foot decline for 23 to 24. So presently we're sitting at 3.6 feet above allocation, and it was reported at 3.08 feet decline. So if I took the 3.6 feet minus the 3.8 feet, that sits, if the 2024 year turns out like the 2023 year where we're excessive pumping, that only leaves us with 0.42 feet above the trigger allocation. And if Synergen is pumping 3 feet of water that I can't get a hold of from my field, that puts me at a deficit of a minus 2.48 feet below the trigger allocation. So that's my concern here too. So
Okay.
I'll submit this form too.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no one else that wants to speak, we'll move on with our agenda. The next thing on our agenda is to adopt this agenda.
So move.
Okay, and any questions on the agenda? Roll call.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
No.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, approval of minutes of the April 18th, 2024 Board of Directors meeting. Would someone
Move to approve is submitted. Second.
Second.
Richard did, Bohaty. Okay, is there any corrections or additions or comments on the minutes? Roll call.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda, recognition of Burke Scholarship, the recipients, that's gonna be in June or July, so we'll skip over that one. Water and Regulations Committee report. Kendall.
Water Regulations Committee at Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, 7:00 p.m. at the NID office, building of the meeting. Are listed below. Committee members are Bohaty, Grotz, Miller, Peterson, Stahly, myself, and Yates. Other staff, directors, and guests are listed below. Publication of legal notice. We acknowledge the public that we publish a legal notice of committee meetings. Oh, sorry. On April 30, 2024, in the York News Times. Also advised that those present at the meeting that the Open Meetings Act was posted at the entrance to the boardroom. Action items: Brown and Caldwell. An invoice was received in the amount of $9,853.75 for Brown and Caldwell for the preparation of the grant application for water sustainability funds for a study to be done in Hamilton County in partnership with the Hamilton County and the city of Aurora. This cost will be split between all the partners for a total of $3,284.53 each. Motion to pay Brown and Caldwell for the preparation of a water sustainability grant application in the amount of $9,853.75. This motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
second,
Any questions on this or comments? Bill.
That has been submitted.
Yes.
Yes.
If there's no questions or comments, roll call.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item B, an invoice for $830 was received from JEO Consulting Group for professional services through April 12th, 2024, related to the facilitation of the advisory committee workshop. A final report was emailed to all the directors last month. Invoice and progress report was attached. Motion to pay JEO Consulting Group for professional services provided in the amount of $830. That motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Kevin. Any questions on this? Comments? Roll call.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item C, there were 12 aquifer quality well abandonment cost share assistance program applications have been approved for final payment totaling $8,706.16. A list is attached. Motion to make cost share payments for 12 well abandonments as reviewed by the committee at a cost of $8,706.16. This motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item D, one water meter cost share assistance program application has been approved for final payment totaling $300. The list is attached. Motion to make cost share payment for one water meter repair cost share assistance as presented by staff and reviewed by the committee in the amount of $300. This motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Questions, comments? Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item E, an invoice was received from Wish, Nebraska for battery replacement kits, which are placed in inventory for resale in the amount of $3,576. This motion to pay Wish, Nebraska for replacement battery kits in the amount of $3,576. And the motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions on this? Comments? Roll call.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item F, 3 invoices were received from Tri-City Meter for the service of 1,436 mechanical flow meters. The invoice amounts are 24,360, 21,700, and 21,255 for a total of $67,315. Motion to pay Tri-City Meter for the servicing of 1,436 flow meters in the amount of $67,315. This motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions on this? Comments? Roll call.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item G, cost share adjustments, aqua cap and water meter repair. The cost of well abandonment continues to increase while the district cost share amount stays the same. It was noted that the district wants to make sure wells are properly sealed. The graph of average cost to seal a well is attached. Motion to increase the cost share amount from the current 60% of total cost up to $750 to 60% of total cost up to $1,000 per well effective July 1, 2024. This motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Is there any questions or comments on this? Roll call.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Additionally, the cost to repair a flow meter continues to increase while the district cost shared amount remains the same. It was noted flow meters are required and need to be properly repaired and or replaced when not functioning. It was also stated refurbished mechanical flow meters are getting harder to get. Graph of average cost share to repair a flow meter is also attached. Motion to increase the cost share amount from the current 50% of total cost up to $300 to 50% of total cost up to $500 per flow meter effective July 1, 2024, and allow new flow meters to be included in the cost share program. This motion carried 8 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions on this? Comments?
Does it need to be stated as replacement new flow meters? As opposed to just allow new flow meters on there?
Oh, wasn't the new flow meters if they were converting from electronic to mechanical because of the parts
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah, it's listed in, I guess it's listed in the cost share program as it's gotta be replacing a electronic meter, so I guess that's why we didn't.
So it's covered in
include
the
that.
program.
It's
portion.
covered within the program
Okay.
language.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Roll call.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Discussion and no action items. Jessica came presented via Zoom on her report on soil health study she conducted in the district. She looked at alternative soil testing methods producers could use to determine their soil health. Both alternative tests showed positive results at a lower cost to the producer. Steve and Matt from Brown and Caldwell were here and provided answers to questions from the board and the public regarding peer review from Olson and the hydrologic study, legal counsel and potential litigation. There was a motion to go into closed session that was at 7:44. That passed as a 8 yes, 0 no. Motion to come out of closed session was 8:24 p.m. That passed 1 yes, 0 no, and an absent. Had a large water user rule discussion. Staff provided a review of previous discussion topics and suggested possible changes to consider that were presented in the April committee meeting. Large water user moratorium. Blanca now described the option of placing a moratorium on wells or a specific type of well. This can be done at a motion at the board meeting to implement a 180-day stay or moratorium, or as a rule change through the review and the hearing process. A motion was presented but withdrawn once the discussion started. Requests for proposals for meter maintenance. There were requests for proposal were mailed out to 18 providers. As of committee meeting, there are no proposals that have came back. Groundwater change, staff provided the committee with a spring 2023 to 2024 groundwater level change map. The district has seen an average of 3.08 feet drop in static water level from last spring. The district is now 3.6 feet above the trigger allocation. Rules enforcement update, other water users reporting, and there are other updates for the rules enforcement. I'll let you guys read through them. The well permit summary was presented and attached. The first draft of the water department budget was given out to the committee. Additional business, the USGS has provided the staff with 2 draft proposals. The first one is a phase two of the water quality visualization tool they have been working on for the district. The second is mapping areas of potential denitrification within the district. These will be discussed at the next committee meetings. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much, Kendall. So with that, we'll move on to the, yes.
Question.
Okay,
First, Terry, Terry, could you make a chart like what's on the board there? I like to put it at the co-op. That's a pretty picture, but that really doesn't tell anybody. I'd like to have.
Yeah,
it shows.
we just got that one updated and we'll get one out that for you guys to have that. We'll include that in our next packet, so.
Okay.
All right.
and then- Thank you. And then
Uh-huh.
one other thing that's bothering me, and I see you talked about it, but I'm gonna go back about 15 years when I was on this board. And Ducks Unlimited bought a quarter down by Clay Center. And they wanted to pump water onto this quarter. Do you remember?
oh, yeah.
Okay. It passed, the board passed it to go ahead and let them pump water, but there were so many people from Clay Center on that hill there that pleaded with us to think twice because of their well water in the house, their house well water and stuff. And the comment that has stuck in my throat for 15 years was, one of the board members said, I made some comment about common sense. The board member says it doesn't make any difference whether it's common sense that we do it. They apply that the rules apply that they can do it. And that's kind of bothering me on this deal here. We talk about it and I see you're gonna, but are we gonna make any go back and revisit, or are these people just wasting their time coming to these meetings? Because that deal that night just, and well, in fact, I used to carry a briefcase and it cost me a hole in the wall.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And that was the end of my career on the board because if common sense doesn't enter in, I don't care what the rules say, there has to be some common sense. And these people are pleading with us to look again. Are we really gonna take a look at it? Or are we just gonna pass it off every month? I'd like to know, because I'm about ready to take the briefcase again approach if we don't follow what these people are saying to us. Now, maybe I shouldn't be bringing this up now. I don't know. But it's a water. Sir, like I say, are these people wasting their time and hours, or are we going to actually sit down and discuss changing the vote or discuss what they're worried about? Instead of just saying, well, yeah, thank you for talking, and it might be here on the next meeting. Are we gonna really put some effort into this, or is it just gonna be brushed under?
If you're directing that to me,
Everybody.
yeah. The only thing I can say, some of the directors wanted more discussion on it. That's coming up next month. And that's all I can say. I guess if Terry wants to comment, he can, or well, Kendall maybe, but Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can discuss it, but is there a chance that we can change what we've voted, or are we just gonna discuss it and roll by with it then and say we can't change it because common sense kind of is entering into this deal too?
yeah, and I guess I'm gonna have to say that I can't really answer that. That's really more of a question for our legal counsel for them to address. So I'll leave it there. If we can change or not change it.
So wouldn't it be wise to get that done so these people aren't sitting here begging or wasting their time coming to every board meeting. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on the board. I'm just saying there's some people here that are really, they want an answer or want some kind of, want us to go back and revisit the deal. And I don't see that happening.
I'm open to rescinding it if there's a way to do it. With, based on new information, absolutely. I don't know if the rest of the board get enough support, but I'm with you, Paul.
That's why I say, we gotta have a little common sense in here too, and I haven't heard anybody sit up there and say that this Synergen deal is the greatest thing in the world. Now, maybe they've got somebody that says it will be, but we've got people here that are begging us to go back and start over again. And I'm not ashamed to go back and start over on anything, but can we? That's what I want to know.
Paul, the legal person was here last week that we discussed that type of stuff with. And so
What did you say?
we're moving forward.
Moving forward what? So these people know, what are we moving forward doing?
But we're looking at our future, well, our rules and regulations for a future water or large water user.
As of right now, there's
Yeah.
not a plan to rescind it as far as what the committee is looking at too. The
Okay,
plan that we're
'cause you-
doing is trying to make a better step moving forward for anything else that comes.
Okay.
And to
So
hopefully
that,
protect.
so that's what I'm saying then. As of now, it's a dead issue. Not a dead issue, but it's an issue we're not going to go over again. But it could be, we could change it so the next one we could. So why aren't we telling these people that? So they're not wasting their time coming to the meetings, asking us to do that. I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not picking on you.
Oh, that's fine.
Why are we encouraging these people to come if this is set in stone and we're not gonna change it? Or possibly change it
Going forward.
no. On the Synergen.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not necessarily set in stone, but as of right now, that's not on the agenda to be changed or addressed. Now, are they wasting their time showing up here? I don't think they are, because I hope they're part of what the change takes going forward. Because I don't know how many people were around when stuff was set up the first time, but having input from the public is extremely helpful. And it's gonna be people that'll be influenced by it, so do I think they're wasting their time? No, and it's still good to hear people's concerns, because it's the same thing that we'll hear when we have to address another one.
I understand that, but there is no sense of them wasting their time driving if we're not going to address their concerns. They're really concerned. And if we're not gonna go back and address those, yeah, it's nice that they show up, but it's gonna do them no good at all for their situation. And that's what I'm wondering. I want to get out, or is their situation gonna be reviewed? Or are we definitely, it's gonna stay like it is? And there's no sense in them driving to York to the meeting.
So just to address, like, when you say wasting their time, I 100% don't feel like you guys are wasting your time to be here tonight. However, short of calling this an emergency, taking a 2/3 vote to suspend the rules and put it on the agenda, then taking it, creating an additional motion and taking a vote on it, we can't do anything about that tonight, which is exactly why I would have liked to see it as an actionable item on tonight's agenda. But as far as moving forward, I can assure you, we're going to discuss it at length in the committee next month. I would encourage you to all to be there, because I really do appreciate seeing you all here. I'm nervous right now speaking. I don't know how it feels to speak there, but I know the feeling. It's not fun, right? I mean, but I'm glad you all came, express your thoughts, and it's good to hear from you. And so come back next month.
Then I'll just add, but the one thing, all the board members need to come to these committee meetings, so that's important meetings, but to be coming to, and I know some of them we've been, there's been a few there that been there. One more comment and then we need to move on.
You guys have not wasted your time. I feel like we've had some good discussion and good ideas from you guys. As far as rescinding it, I don't know what's gonna happen there. But as for going forward with the rules, we've had great ideas from you guys. And I hope those come to fruition. So I don't think you're wasting your time when you come and give us ideas. It's great for input from the public. Cause we've had, I mean, even last year, my first year on the board, I feel like we didn't get a lot of input with some stuff. But so it's great to have input from the public on going forward. If there's more restrictions, we should have more things with allocation. I think that's a great ideas we have been given. So don't feel like you've wasted your time.
Lynn, I've got to answer that wasting the time. I did not mean they're wasting their time coming here, but they are wasting their time coming here on their situation. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that it's their situation.
And you've expressed that several times, so, yeah. Okay, Anthony?
I just want to say I wanted this issue addressed about the moratorium, and I know several people did contact the chairman, and at his discretion, he would not put it on here tonight. And I do think that something that's important should not be stopped in committee. I think committee is made to give you general ideas, but you should have all 17 people, and I don't know why we were afraid to discuss it tonight. And I'd like to see it on next month's board.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna move on to projects and program. Richard?
Okay. Projects and Program Committee met 7 PM Thursday, May 9th in New York. Committee members, myself, Roger Houdersheldt, Bill Kuehner, Mike Nuss, Matt Perry, Lynn Yates, board chairperson, and then other staff members, directors, and guests present. Action items: Recharge Lake Water Quality Improvement Study Payment Request. Gordon Koch and Justin Shermock of the Flatwater Group gave a presentation on the draft Recharge Lake Water Quality Improvement Study. Gordon and Justin discussed a number of possible in-lake improvements as part of the study. The Upper Big Blue received an invoice from Flatwater Group for $6,125 for work performed from April through 1st through the 30th, which included initiation of a nutrient loading assessment, fisheries evaluation, BMP, alternatives evaluation, and report documentation and concept preparation. Motion that the Upper Big Blue approve payment of $6,125 to the Flatwater Group for work completed on the Recharge Lake Water Quality Study from April 1st through April 30th. Motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call.
Stahly, yes. Weiss.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz.
Yes.
Houdersheldt.
Yes.
Kuehner.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Nuss.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Private dams program. There are 2 new private dam applications in which the landowners would like to move on to the design phase. Dave Hansen's dam is located approximately 2 miles north of Fran and has an initial cost of $50,000. Dale Rocker Trust Dam is located approximately 2 miles west of Seward and has an initial cost estimated at $57,000. Motion that the Upper Big Blue NRD approve private dam applications of Dave Hansen and Dale Rocker Trust, which allows both projects to move on to the design phase. NRCS staff will be completing the design work on both of these dams. Motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Any questions on this? Comments? Roll call.
Weiss.
Yes.
Bethune.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz.
Yes.
Houdersheldt.
Yes.
Kuehner.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Nuss.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Siebert.
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Yates.
Yes.
Carried.
Storm damage tree program. Gene Stair of York has completed the planting of a new tree as part of the storm damage tree program. The cost was $299.99 with a 50% NRD cost of $150. Motion that the Upper Big Blue NRD approve payment of $150 to Gene Stair of York for one tree replaced through the NRD storm damage tree program. Motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move. Second.
Questions? Comments? Roll call.
Bethune,
Abstain.
Anthony,
Pass.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes, Weiss,
Yes.
Yates,
Does it pass one vote? Okay, yes.
So the pass, that's an extension then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. That carried 13-2.
Hazard mitigation plan update and payment request. JEO Consulting Group submitted an invoice in the amount of $5,444.40 for work performed from March 16th through April 12th. The Nebraska Emergency Management Agency share is 75% or $4,083. The Upper Big Blue, Hamilton County, Seward County, and York County will each pay 6.25% or $340.28. The Upper Big Blue will invoice the other agencies quarterly. The second round of public meetings will be held June 3rd at 2 p.m. in York and 7 p.m. in Seward, and June 5th at 7 p.m. in Aurora. Motion that the Upper Big Blue NRD approve payment of $5,444.40 to JEO Consulting Group for work completed on the Upper Big Blue multi-jurisdictional hazard plan update from March 16th through April 12th. Motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Questions on this, comments? Roll call.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes, Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, I should have asked this during discussion, but this will be the final round of these meetings and then the report will be prepared.
Yes, I think it's a final round of public meetings, unless something comes up kind of strange, but yeah, they're kind of working on the report now, but each community's working on their report.
Okay, item E, Nebraska Department of Natural Resources, additional stream gauges. The NRD has an agreement with the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources to cost share for the installation and annual operation and maintenance for 2 new steam gauging sites, one in the Big Blue River near Staplehurst and one on the West Fork of the Big Blue River near Grafton. In addition, the department has installed gauge-only sites at Lincoln Creek and Aurora, School Creek at Sutton, the West Fork at the Big Blue River near McCool Junction, Beaver Creek at York, and the West Fork of the Big Blue River near Beaver Crossing. The Nebraska Department of Natural Resources has submitted an invoice of $14,995 for the cost of the equipment and the installation of the 2 gauging station, 50% of the total cost of $29,990. Motion that the Upper Big Blue NRD approve payment of $14,995 for the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources for the equipment and installation cost of 2 new gauging stations, the Blue River near Staplehurst and the West Fork of the Big Blue River near Grafton. That motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Any questions or comments? Yes, Kevin.
Jack, do we have any input in the district at a staff level about where these gauges are placed, or does DNR just place them and And,
No, they'd talk to us on where one of them, some, I think, they were kind of identified as a need place, some of it's to help them with their service water administration, and, they discussed it with us. We identified sites, there were some located, or recommended in our water quality management plan too, so.
wonderful, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes, Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Smith Creek Picnic Shelter Update Payment Request. Broken Arrow Excavation was to pick up the old picnic shelter last week on the 9th or the 10th. Dosto Construction will begin working on the new shelter next week. ABC Creative has submitted an invoice for the remaining 50% of the shelter materials. The first half was paid back in December of 2023. Motion that the Upper Big Blue approve payment of $27,466.50 to ABC Creative for the remaining 50% of the material cost for the picnic shelter to be installed at Smith Creek Rec area. Motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second. Questions? Comments? Roll call.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes, Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Overland Trail Update Payment Request of concrete proposals. Boom Concrete is scheduled to deliver and install the new double vault restroom at Overland Trail Rec Area in mid to late May. Staff would like to get concrete quotes for installing 2 ADA parking stalls and the sidewalk to the vault restroom and the hydrant. Funding is in the fiscal year 2024 budget, but this work might extend into fiscal year 2025. Motion that the Upper Big Blue NRD staff solicit quotes for the concrete work at Overland Trail Rec area, which will include 2 ADA parking stalls and sidewalk. That motion carried 6 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes, Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Discussion and no action items. Beaver Crossing Rec Development. Brandon Maris, Chairman of the Beaver Crossing Planning Commission, gave a presentation on rec projects currently being developed for the southwest area of Beaver Crossing. The first project would be create some fishing access points along the Blue River. Other projects include creating a walking trail, bike trail, fishing pond at the site of the old abandoned lagoon, possibly some kayak loading sites. Brandon has held initial discussions at the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy, Nebraska Game and Parks Commission, Corps of Engineers, Rails, Trails, Ducks Unlimited, and adjacent landowners. Some of the areas of interest is owned by Beaver Crossing, including the initial fishing access site. The group has set up a 501c3 nonprofit organization called Build Beaver. The group plans to develop the area in phases. Land treatment program, there were no new land treatment project applications. Oxbow Trail Rec Area Supply well update. Broken Arrows completed the well pad and still needs to seed the channel. Real fencing is installed. The fencing posts, the recent rains have slowed the installation of the chain link fence. The lake is approximately 10 inches from full and springs are running, but seem to be just holding the lake's level steady. Staff will turn the pump back on following completion of the fencing. The pump will now be operating during irrigation season. Langworthy Rhine Miller update will be discussed during the exec committee meeting next. Hastings Water Quality Management Plan update. Staff informed the Little Blue NRD and City of Hastings that the Upper Big Blue did not approve the additional funding for the water quality model work. Funds remaining in the original agreement, 9,000 each, and proxy 1,100 state grant funds that could be used if Hastings and the Lower Blue NRD wish to continue with the water quality modeling work. Fiscal year 2025 draft budgets. The staff presented initial draft budgets for the project committee, forestry, parks development. These draft budgets were briefly discussed by the committee. Committee members will review at the June committee meeting. And does anybody have, any additional information? I don't have any. Okay, I think that concludes.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Does anybody have any problem with it? Yeah. Yeah, we can recess for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need something to drink too.
I mean, probably 5 minutes, so the recess is over, so let's get back to the agenda. The next thing on the agenda is the executive committee report. Bill.
The executive committee met at 8:50 on Thursday, May 9th, 2024 at the NRD office in York. Committee members present were Yates, Kuehner, Stahly, Siebert, Bohaty, Miller, and Houdersheldt. Board Chairperson Yates acknowledged that we published the legal notice of the committee meeting on the April 30th, 2024 in the York News Times. Yates advised those present that the Open Meeting Act is posted by the entrance of the boardroom. Item A, Burke Scholarship. The policy that the Scholarship Selection Committee used this year was discussed. The scholarship was established in the memory of Raymond Burke for the benefit of youth interested in pursuing careers in natural resources related fields. From time to time, donations memorializing individuals have been added to this fund. Currently, the Upper Big Blue NRD administers 2 scholarships awarded annually in the amount of $2,000 each. Qualifications include the legal home permanent address of the applicant is in the Upper Big Blue NRD. Attend or plan to unit in the upcoming semester a 2-year or 4-year Nebraska college or university. Are enrolled or will be enrolled in the upcoming semester in a course of study leading to an associate or undergraduate degree in natural resources related fields. Intend to enter the workforce upon graduation in a hands-on position such as a soil water conservation, resource manager, or engineering technician. Are not family members or staff director of the Upper Big Blue NRD. In recent years, the general policy has been suspended and 3 scholarships have been awarded. The suggestion was made that the guidance policy be rewritten stating that up to 2 scholarships per year may be awarded. However, that if the budgeted funding is not used for the 1 annual public awarded Water Leaders Academy scholarship, then a 3rd Burke scholarship may be considered. Motion to amend the selection policy for the Burke scholarship to read in the event that a multiple quality applicants are received in a year and after 2 scholarships have been awarded using Burke scholarship funding, and if the budgeted funding was not used for the 1 annual public awarded Water Leaders Academy scholarship, that a 3rd Burke scholarship would be considered. Motion carried, 6 yes, 1 no, and I so move.
Second.
Get the second.
No, I missed it. Oh, John did.
Miller.
John Miller. Any questions or comments on this? You know, we had some fair discussion, so I don't want to cut anybody short here. Roll call.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
No.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, no. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
No.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
No.
Yates,
No.
That carried 10-5.
Item B. Fiscal year twenty-five salary schedule. Manager recommended changes from the fiscal year twenty-five salary schedule. Eigenberg explained the logic and starting point behind the recommended and answered questions. This schedule has been developed to provide guidance on fiscal year twenty-five salary structure. Midpoints were calculated by taking the average of 5 NRDs with similar property valuations, annual payrolls, and staffing numbers. Midpoints were then used to develop minimum of 80% and maximum of 120% wage limits. The salary schedule will be used in accordance with the operating policy. The proposed salary schedule is attached to the report. The motion to approve fiscal year twenty-five salary schedule as presented. The motion carried 7 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second.
Is there any questions or comments? Roll call.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item C, fiscal year twenty-five wage increase request. The executive committee discussion of the wages of current staff positions. As part of this discussion, Eigenberg stated that in his opinion, the district has not kept pace with the increase in wages for not only new hires, but also for current employees. Eigenberg requested that the board authorize a 6.5 increase in the fiscal year twenty-five payroll for a total of $104,148,000 for salary realignment for fiscal year twenty-five wage increases for staff. Motion to adjust the annual fiscal year twenty-five salaries of the district staff, except for the general manager, by 6.5% of the fiscal year twenty-four payroll, not to exceed $104,148. And to authorize the general manager to determine and make the salary and wage adjustments in accordance with the operating policy. The motion carried 7 yes, 0 no, and I so move.
Second. Questions or comments? Yes, Matthew.
Just for record, this is to help with the hiring process of bringing our wages up to more of a desirable, so people can, we got more chance to hire people, correct, Dave?
And to retain people. Not only hire, but to retain what's on staff currently.
Any other?
I guess I do. I called around and seeing if we were in line or not, and it was, I called 4 different employers that I know. Very common problem everybody's facing right now. I mean, it kind of sounds like get used to it. We've been battling it. And from what I gathered, the bottom half of their pay schedules need to raise more than 6.5%. And he said most of the uppers aren't getting much of an increase. And I mean, that's, and if you look at where we're having problems, that would follow suit. And we're constantly and looking for waged employees.
Yep.
And you look at our upper management, since I've been here, I don't think we've lost any. And I've been on the board for quite a while.
Richard, do you want to make a comment or a question? Go ahead.
Well, I'm kind of with Bill is. I think if we're gonna allot that certain amount, maybe we need to lower the amount that upper management is receiving increases and put that towards the lower the hourly employees, because That seems to be where the problem is.
Let me say something before you go any farther. This board hires a general manager. And to make those decisions, that's his job. We don't have any control over that. So. Anthony.
I want to say we do hire a general manager, but he works for us. And ultimately, we make the decision. So this idea that we don't have any say is ridiculous. And that is how I feel.
But to say we have is with these two last motions, so. Roger.
Well, we're not in the job of micromanaging.
No.
The general manager has to work with these people every day. We don't. And that's, he's gotta have people that he is comfortable working with and are comfortable working with him, and that's gotta go all the way up and down the line. That's why you gotta let the general manager handle this type of it. We can't make recommendations based on our feelings or anything else.
Any other questions or comments? Bill.
I mean, you're both really wrong. I would assume Dave's gonna value our opinions. I mean, you have a lot of people in here that are business owners or work for other operations. I would hope Dave would listen to us.
Oh,
It's on.
It didn't. I have a question.
yes.
So could we make a motion that like the department managers get a 2% raise and the balance of the money goes to new hires and the hourly people? Is that something we could do? Because we wouldn't be picking on anybody. We would just be saying we feel the department managers and everyone below him who is not an hourly person or, you know, that would be, we would keep them because there hasn't been a lot of turnover, but it's getting the new people. And I don't think money is the answer to keeping people. It's about finding the right fit and finding local people who want to live in York, Nebraska.
When I was on the co-op board, we had the same discussion and we ended up doing what Bill is mentioning, and there's both sides of the issue. Like, you gotta let the manager make that decisions, and then there was some that felt, no, we can do this. And from what I remember, I think we did vote to limit it when I was at UFC's board. Of course, that's 15 years ago. Just, I don't know what the correct process is, but you know, we have a limited amount of money. We gotta try to make it appropriated to the best way. And that's not reflecting that think people are doing bad jobs. That's not it. It's just, you gotta manage what resources we have.
Any other comments? We need to stick to the motion. As far as the percent increase and the dollar amount. As far as the discussion. If there's not any other comments. Roll call. Wait, and everybody knows the motion. I know we had some discussion. And it is on increasing payroll 6.5%, not to exceed $104,148. Roll call.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
No.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
No.
Richard,
No.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
No.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
No.
Yates,
Yes.
That carried 10-5.
Item D, we have a closed session for update of potential litigation.
So
Need that. All right.
I would ask for a motion to that effect. Did you make that motion, but to go into closed session? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I move we go into closed session to discuss potential litigation.
Second.
Okay.
Nuss.
Yep.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
And carried.
Okay, we got a motion to come out of executive session and a second. Roll call.
Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss.
Yeah.
Yates.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Now we have a motion to accept the current counter offer to the Upper Big Blue NRD original settlement offer from the Langworthy Trust with the stipulation that all requirements of both current easement and crossing agreements will remain in force. That motion carried 6 yes, 1 no, and I so move.
Second.
Okay, is there any questions or comments on the motion? Roll call.
Peterson,
Yes.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yeah. Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Dickinson,
Yes.
Grotz,
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Discussion and no action items, the building maintenance, the headquarters office facility sustained water damage around the middle of January 2024. It was determined that the damage occurred when a frost layer developed between the rafter installation and roof sheeting. Warming of the attic area caused the frost to melt. Eileen Korth Jackson and Associates Incorporated has conducted a site visit to assist in providing a potential solution. Jackson has created a PDF report from their Fieldware software. This is an interactive platform that allows concerned areas to be looked at in detail. Staff asked directors to discuss possible solutions and consider what scenario is best. Staff will incorporate the consensus for possible solutions from the board in developing the fiscal year 25 budget. Item F, the fiscal 25 year budget. The first draft of the fiscal 25 budget for public relations, office, administration departments were provided to committees for consideration. Expect to see a lot more of that in the next 2 months. Item G, public relations update. We are having our next board retreat. The tour is going to focus on past, current, and potential projects around the district, and it'll be in the month of August. Item H, personnel report, Dave.
I think it's in your written report, projects department, the engineering technician. We have had a verbal acceptance of an offer to a candidate. We are currently having the forestry and maintenance position that was vacated by Kyle. It's posted currently. We have hired 2 summer interns to help out with the summer workload. Valerie Paul is in the back. She is our new water conservationist. She started on May the 1st, I believe, wasn't it? So she's an old hand at it already. We still have 2 water resource technicians posted. We have not received very many qualified applicants for those 2.
All right, a list of the investments is attached and the meeting adjourned at 10:15. That concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Paul, yes. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Of Thursday nights or of Tuesday and Thursday nights? Both, everything. Okay, we'll get it sent out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to financial statement and approval of bills.
In your packet, you'll see our typical fund summary report and our budget, our liabilities to be paid this month. Be happy to try and answer any questions you may have.
Give you a few minutes there, but to look through those, have any questions, just give my attention.
Nancy, what's the executive travel tree grant?
Well, I don't know what, I can't think what the gentleman's name is, but he owns Executive Travel and he wanted to promote, planting trees. So the money's coming through NERD and they give us exactly how much it is. Is it about $2,500, Dave, somewhere in that neighborhood?
$2,100 to $2,500.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. And then, what we did, we went through and it's like for people that did district plants, we didn't do it for hand plants, we did it for district plants. And we just picked like the first 5 people that did plans and paid for them. And then they just divvied it up back to them according to how many trees they planted.
This is, around back in the 80s, something, 317, 13 from CVA.
Trees. Well, they didn't pay up front, before it was planted, and then they said it had to go through their corporate, so we're following up on it.
I move we accept the financial statement, pay the bill.
Second.
Does anyone have any questions with either financial or the bills from last time? Get roll call.
Siebert,
Yes.
Stahly, yes. Weiss,
Yes.
Bethune,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Dickinson.
Yes.
Grotz.
Yes.
Houdersheldt,
Yes.
Kuehner,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nuss, Perry,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, but the NRCS report. What do you got for us?
Hi, everyone. Nicole Strand, Resource Conservationist in Osceola, and also acting as the District Conservationist for Josh Bowers right now. Josh is still at our state office. You'll probably have me around next month too. We've been really busy the last month, so I don't have many updates. Not much has changed. We're currently working on contracting. So within the 5 Upper Big Blue administrative counties, we currently have selected for funding 17 RCPPs, which that's our program that is just adding a 3rd crop to the rotation, no-till and cover crops. We have 16 equips that were funded with our general funds and 36 equips that were funded with Inflation Reduction Act funds. So we've been a little understaffed working on that stuff. We are also currently doing the Food Security Act compliance reviews. So checking for erosion on highly erodible ground and wetlands. And we still have 2 new employees that are supposed to start sometime to be determined. They're stuck in security up at Nationals. So they'll be in Aurora and Osceola. And I brought this up a couple months ago, but we have still continued to have people coming in offices telling us they would be interested in renozzling. So I just thought I would mention that because I know it's been a topic. So does anyone have any questions for me? Right, renozzling so that they have a more efficient system, essentially. And so those don't typically get funded for us through EQIP. We do offer it, but they aren't one of our highest priorities. But for EQIP, their whole system would then have to be up to standards as well. So there is a resource concern that we would be solving that there is a need for.
Does anyone have any other questions? For Nicole? Okay, well, thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here. Yeah. Okay, the next thing, the NARD report, Paul.
Only thing I got this month is committee and board meeting will be June 9th and 10th. And then basin tours, the 10th and 11th in the Republican Basin.
Oh, okay. Anybody have any questions for Paul? Okay, well, mine probably won't be much longer, but I'll open my report. I was gonna ask Terry, have you been getting many calls on the pooling letters that came out or the information that came out?
Yes, we've been receiving a few calls, most of them just making sure that they understand what we've sent out. For the most part, it's don't understand how come they maybe gotten connected to another well.
Yeah.
But it's because, something waters a piece of theirs and oh, that's right. So, but most of them have been good comments that we've gotten.
Yeah, I got mine, I got some questions, but I'll catch you, sometime and we can go through a couple things, but, yeah.
Was these sent to a certain area?
They were sent to the entire district, all the producers, everybody that has water use.
Producers on.
Right.
Okay, well, I mean, that was the only comment that I had to make, not much tonight, so. Does anybody have anything else? If,
One thing.
yes,
I was curious, Paul made some great points as far as time. I keep feeling bad in the summer meetings when we have an NRCS person that shows up and gives us a report. And they're here before the meeting starts and they don't get the hot seat until 8:45 at night. So I was just curious of the possibility to move that toward the front end of the meeting instead of that.
I know in the past, I've asked Josh about it and it didn't make a difference, but to him, of course, he's got to go Curtis Hebron, so he's got a long way home too. But I know, so we never changed it, I mean, I asked him, but if he wanted up toward the front, I guess I can ask you next month, do you want to be toward the front? How about till 9 p.m.? Would you still like to be up?
Just as that person representative.
Okay. Oh.
Thank you. I just wanted to make one comment, a little bit according to what I've said earlier. One comment is the hydrological study was not printed and available to the public prior to your vote. The other one was you did not have the pre-review prior to the vote. And just to let you know, some people have reported this to the state attorney general. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else? If not, I would entertain.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, okay.
We did receive the allocation papers in the mail, being farmers in Hamilton County. I think that you haven't heard the last of the Hamilton County farmers because with this for pumping, Synergen well permits pumping, the capacity of water, and then we get sent an allocation possibility in the mail. Farmers are busy right now. Most of them haven't been to contact you, just for your information. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion, but I did not hear a second to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we got a couple seconds there. Yeah, Kevin or John, got it?
Yep, Peterson.
Okay, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned. Motion passed.